Hello everyone. Natural disasters happen all over the world at any time. These natural disasters lead to loss of life. It causes nature to change. Sometimes it even razes entire cities to the ground. We often talk about these natural disasters and give information and statistics about them. Still, it is quite difficult to reflect on what exactly is happening at such moments. However, we forget the existence of cameras that record the moments of natural disasters and every heartbreaking detail in these moments. Still, it is quite difficult to reflect on what exactly is happening at such moments. However, we forget the existence of cameras that record the moments of natural disasters and every heartbreaking detail in these moments. We've all seen some great photos and videos of volcanoes erupting and spewing lava and ash. Volcanoes are one of the most incredible forces in our world. Now we will talk about a small-scale prayer event that looks like volcanoes. These are called mud volcanoes. Unlike volcanoes, which have lava coming from deep within the earth, mud volcanoes are formed when hydrocarbon gases underground accumulate and force themselves to rise to the surface and then erupt. As these gases move upwards and out, they mix with the water and form a muddy pile that resembles a sleet of snow. At the tip of the Caspian Sea is Baku, the largest city of Azerbaijan. This region is home to some of the largest natural gas and oil fields in the world. That's why mud volcanoes often occur here. In the video you see on the screen, you can see the eruption of one of the mud volcanoes on one of these gas right. The slurry, made up of minerals and sludge, is thrown hundreds of meters into the air. A little away from the mud volcano, we see a flame. Soon, this flame comes together with the flammable gases from the mud volcano. The eruption of the mud volcano with the ignition of the gases causes an image similar to the volcanic eruptions we are used to. This explosion lasted a total of 8 minutes, but did not harm anyone or anything. These images remind us of how unique the things that make up our planet actually make it. Natural disasters often have their own charm. When you see one of these things happen, you know it's going to do a lot of damage. Still, you fall under the unsettling spell of the event, and you can't stop yourself from watching what's going on. Hoses also fall into this category exactly. Tornadoes are one of the most destructive natural disasters in the world, and they can produce winds with speeds reaching for 180 kilometers per hour. We know that tornadoes are strong enough to destroy everything in their path. Still, when one of them comes across, we can't stop watching them. Well, here's a question. You saw a tornado. The position of the tornado on the horizon does not change, but it is getting bigger and bigger. What happens in this case? Yes, you got it right. This means that the hose is coming towards you. That's exactly what I found myself in when a tornado broke out a few miles from his house. When he saw the tornado, he grabbed his camera and started filming, as most of us would do. The tornado continued to grow as it tore through the town and threw hundreds of feet of debris into the air. By the time the videographer realized what was happening, the tornado had almost reached the top of him and his family, when the winds sweep the land and when he tosses it around, the camera starts shaking violently. The wind blows righteously and relentlessly. If we look at what was happening around the camera as it waved, it can be seen that the windows were shattered and some walls collapsed. This makes everyone inside an open target for debris flying around. Luckily, after it was all over, this man and his family realized that only the side of their house was damaged. Although everyone was saved, their land and everything within it was completely shattered. Of course, there are few things in the world that are more peaceful than driving down the road in the afternoon. When the sky is grey, the weather is rainy and gloomy, it can lower one's mood a little. This couple, who we will see in the next video, were in exactly such a mood while wandering in the mountains of the pop rock city of Slovakia. The surroundings were even wetter than usual as the rain had been going on for several days. However, there was one big problem that no one expected. Everything seemed to be fine as the couple drove on. That is, of course, until I turned around and saw a few trees toppled into the other lane. Although they carefully passed the fallen trees, they saw that there were other fallen trees ahead. When they realized the danger they were in, they slowed down and came to a complete stop. In the blink of an eye, all the trees around began to fall. First, the trees in front of the car fell, and then a few trees fell on top of the car. It was a terrifying moment that could have led to serious injuries to the driver and passenger inside the vehicle. Fortunately, no one was injured. The reason for the danger here was actually the rains. At the time of this video, it had rained so much that the soil had become too loose and the tree roots were no longer able to support their own weight. This event, which we see in the video, could have happened at any time. But these people who shot the video were unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. As we have just seen, large amounts of precipitation can cause a lot of damage to slow ones. When the soil gets too hot, some trees and rocks become unable to stand and eventually break free and topple over. However, heavy rainfall can saturate certain soil types and change the texture and stability of the soil. When this happens, landslides or mudslides usually occur. On August 7, 2018, there was a large hailstorm in the city of Camisson in Switzerland. This storm battered the city and the surrounding areas with huge chunks of ice, but that was just the beginning. After the storm subsided, a massive mudslide occurred, and within a short period of time, the sewers and roads were covered in mud. It looked like mud because of its earthy consistency. Residents said they heard loud noises and noises shortly before the mudslide occurred. As can be seen in the video, some people were standing where they were and looking around to find out the source of this sound. What they didn't know was that a large puddle of soil, water, and debris was coming towards them. As you can see, in just a few seconds, the entire road was covered in this thick layer of mud. Fortunately, no one was in the direction where the mudslide occurred. Thanks to this, there were no injuries or deaths. In 2011, Japan experienced one of the most devastating natural disasters ever to occur. A massive earthquake of magnitude 9 occurred about 40 kilometers off the northern coast of the country, which created a massive tsunami that devastated thousands of square meters of land. More than 15,000 people lost their lives, tens of thousands of houses and buildings were destroyed, even a nuclear reactor core melted down. This has not been seen since the Chernobyl disaster in 1986 on March 11, 2011. Several traffic cameras and closed-circuit camera systems on Route 45 in Iwate, Japan, were recording when the tsunami hit the city and began to destroy the city. As you can see in the video, that day seemed like an ordinary day. Everything was normal and calm. Then, suddenly, a huge wall of water began to fill the streets. The current carried away cars and debris. In just a few seconds, everything was submerged. Looking at the videos, we can see how everything continued as normal in other parts of the city before the tsunami waters arrived, which swept away houses and cars. With the tsunami waters, bridges were uprooted, buildings and other structures began to drift. These images illustrate the damage that tsunamis can cause. 1 minute you're down the road and minding your own business, and the next thing in your field of vision is covered in water, and houses, buildings, cars, and all kinds of debris that used to be part of people's lives are coming towards you. Today, this tsunami, which occurred in Japan in 2011, is considered one of the worst natural disasters in the last 20 years. It is obvious that the natural disasters that occur in our world have their own charm. These disasters look amazing, beautiful, and incredible. It can also be fatal to anyone who gets in its way. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like it, you can subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.